Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is a very special edition of Unger the Radar, where we talk all things film and sometimes TV. I have with me a legend in the entertainment business, Mr. Maurice LaMarche. He is a renowned voice actor, not just animation, but also live action as well. He has a new film out called Murder Anyone, and it is a very quirky little film, a lovely mystery comedy. But before we get into that, Maurice, uh, I just want to say that I am a member, a card-carrying member of the New York City Ghostbusters charity group here in the
Wonderful.
city. And I just want to say that it is an absolute honor to be in your presence tonight.
Well, I'm honored to be in yours, Randy, because I believe the work that the Ghostbusters chapters all across the country do is so valuable. You do so much for children and charities, and it honors the spirit of Ghostbusters and Harold's spirit. Who's I was just lucky enough to stand on his shoulders for those 140 episodes of real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters and Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters. And but his keyboard, and along with Dan Aykroyd, was really where the spirit of Ghostbusters emanated from. And I know that he was thrilled that so much good is being done in the world in the name of Ghostbusters, and continues to be to this day. And I'm honored whenever I get to meet any of the Ghostbusters chapters. So thank you for your hard work
Of course.
of the kids, Randy.
Yeah, and I just want to also thank you for providing not just myself, but all of my other Ghostbuster brethren for a very special childhood throughout all your voice work in the late 80s and 90s. So again, I want to thank you for that.
I'm very glad to be able to do anything, but you guys are really doing the grunt work, the hard work. You're the ones out there showing up and cheering the kids up. So bless you.
Thank you. We do what we can, and we love the kids. We love the fans.
Yeah.
So it's great. All right, so Murder Anyone. This is a very interesting little film.
Mm.
Uh, Tell everybody about it. Well, what's the premise, and how did you get involved?
Well, and I like the way you did it at the beginning. And I know it's easy to just say murder anyone, but that
Murder
sounds like really a really indiscriminate serial killer. Like,
Anyone? Right.
even Lecter had his standards. Eat the rude, Clarice.
No.
You know, but just murder anyone is
Right.
is based on a play written by my friend Gordon Bressac,
Mm.
who is the director of this film, James Cullen's Bressac's father.
Mm.
And it is a play about, it started as a play about two writers having an argument about how to write their latest play,
Mm.
which is a neo-noir thriller.
Okay.
One of the writers has a secret, and that's that he's trying to steer this thing in the direction of a screenplay
Mhm.
because he believes that they can make more money
Right.
writing a far out comedy or thriller rather with zombies and vampires and all that sort of thing. And that's my character, George,
Right.
who is based on Gordon. Gordon wrote the character with himself in mind, and he wrote Charlie, the other writer, with his real life writing partner, Charlie Howell, in mind, who plays Charlie in the movie.
Mhm.
So Charlie was, he actually, I remember when Pinky and the Brain came to an end, a friend of mine started taking Meisner. And he called me and said, "There's a good, I got a guy in my Meisner class who says he worked with you, Charlie Howell." And I said, I called Charlie. I said, "Taking Meisner?"
Mm.
And he goes, "Yeah, I want to expand my horizons. Still want to write, but I want to become a good actor." And he's an excellent actor, and he's
Mm.
wonderful in the film. So we have the kind of fights that he and Gordon might have had, character fights,
Right.
things that have what to do with the characters. And then those are taken to the extreme for the sake of comedy and drama. Um, so it's about the creative struggle,
Mm.
and it's also about all the genres, kind of mixing it up in the on film. We write the thing, and then what we're writing suddenly pops up on the screen, and
Mhm.
you're taken to that world, and it's So funny. I don't know if you've seen the screener of it yet or not, but
I did, yeah.
very funny film. The
Yeah.
bass is terrific, and the other actors, Carla Collins as plays a blind psychic. Galadriel Steinman plays a femme fatale. Christos Andros and plays the probably serial killer. Spencer Breslin is hilarious.
Right.
And I won't tell you quite where he comes in, but we even have this Oscar nominee Sally Kirkland
Right.
in the film, and so it's a real ride.
Yeah.
And as you say, it's quirky,
Very.
but that's half the fun.
Now, how did you get on board with it?
Well, I mean, Gordon Bressak, James's father, had been a friend since the Pinky and the Brain days, and I was also
Yeah.
in his in my opinion, highly underrated animated series, Captain Simian and the Space Monkeys,
Mm.
which was just a true. I mean, it was, how can I put it? I mean, it had people from Star Trek, people from Babylon 5. It had Malcolm McDowell. It was James Michael Dorn, James Avery from the Fresh Prince, Uncle
Oh, yeah.
Phil. I mean, we just had so many great people, um, and we this show had DC Fontana wrote a script. We had I think Harlan Ellison was talking about submitting a script if we went to a season 3. I mean, we had some great people from the genre writing and working on this show. And Gordon and I became fast friends. We had a kind of similar level of cynicism. Yet we were both kind of cheerful men,
Mm.
but we had that kind of looking askance at the world kind of thing. So we gravitated to one another, and we became friends all through Pinky and the Brain
Mm.
and beyond. And um, and I attended the opening night of not only the play version of Murder Anyone, but
Mm.
Murder Anyone,
Yeah.
but also those 2 other plays.
Mm.
And I know James wants to adapt all of Gordon's plays for the screen.
Mm.
But this was the first one, and I've known James since he was 4. I'm one of 7 people on the planet allowed to call him Jimmy. But on set, I made sure to call him James. And he runs the most fun set I've ever been on,
Okay.
which is a testament to him, because he financed this film himself.
Mm.
So I'm not wasting the studio's money if I don't know my lines or if I'm goofing off too much. I'm wasting James's money.
Right.
And so, we were deadly earnest in making this picture, and yet had incredible fun. And we had a lot of, set inside jokes and things like that.
Mm.
But so he just handed the part to me, and his faith in me means so much to me, because I'm primarily a voice actor. I mean, I've done some on camera,
Yeah.
but I'm primarily a voice actor, and that skill set is one that I don't know if it was rusty or not. I don't think it was, but certainly it's not one I keep as alive as possible.
Mm.
And yet, when we did this film, I owe James a lot, because I've managed to pick up 3 individual and 1 cast award for Best Actor.
Okay.
So on the festival circuit. So this has been a very nice little ride for me. We shot it about a year ago,
Mm.
and I've lost 40 pounds since we shot it. So the opening act and the opening scene of the trailer is just focusing on my stomach and a paddle ball,
40 pounds. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
no, it's a good thing. Totally
Okay.
diet and exercise.
Okay, good. All right.
Eating right and getting to the gym.
Okay. A little
So
concerned
yes.
for a second there.
No. It's been a concerted effort.
Okay.
And I've got more to go, by the way. I mean, I'm
Right. Do you
so
approach, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, do you approach live action roles the same way you do voice roles? Do you like look at it in the same lens?
Well, you're always creating a character, and going into the moment of whatever the scene is, and making it as real for yourself as possible. Obviously, with film and theater, you've got other actors to truly relate to and make eye contact with, and work with. In animation, it's all, you got to make it just come from here, just from the voice and and work that mic. So I literally I never look at my other actors because then my voice will go off mic like that. So I sort of paint the cartoon on the white part of the script and then read the black part, but I'm seeing the cartoon as I'm projecting it onto the pages. And that's sort of my little technique. Obviously, memorization is the biggest part of I love your Ghostbusters mug.
Oh, of course. In honor of you.
Egon Spengler loves your mug. But obviously memorization is a huge part of it. Of course, knowing your mark and where the key line is and all that sort of thing. But I don't I need to study Michael Caine more. If you look at the outside eye, that's the eye to look at. Don't look at the inside eye because then the audience doesn't know who you're relating to. So anyway, all that kind of stuff. We have a lot of onset jokes about my inexperience. Am I doing too much with my hands? Am I hand acting? Hi there. It's like right. So it's important to stay relaxed. Really, relaxation is key in any form of acting. The less self-conscious you are, the better you're going to be. Just being, because acting is listening and relating to your fellow actor, and you'll do the right thing. You'll do the natural thing. You'll be a version of you. So that's really the only differences.
And what is it about animation specifically that has attracted you? I mean, you've been doing this for so long, and you've done so many different shows. What is it about the medium of animation that fascinates you so?
The idea that I can become, any character. There are so many ways and places to take my voice and even my body language. The physicalization that you do in an animated cartoon, as long as you don't make noise that will, disrupt the take by, too much clothing noise, or you bump a stand, or technical things like that. You can play so many characters in voiceover. It's like belonging to the world's largest rep company. A show like Futurama, where I play at least a dozen recurring or central characters, and probably another 60 one-offs and two-offs. It becomes just tremendous fun.
Yeah. And over the years, I mean, you've done so many roles, so many characters. Is there one that you just look back fondly that's like, would you say is your favorite? Like, is there a favorite character you've done?
Well, my friend, as much as I'd like to say that they're all my children, Brain is definitely one that resonates with me, because in his quest to take over the world, the actor in me relates to the thwartedness of all the missed auditions and the chances to be in the hit sitcom Maurice Feld, or Everybody Loves Mo, or Mo Improvement. So Brains taking over the world is like me wanting to take over show business, and so we all feel thwarted, in our lives. So that, and plus he's got this deep abiding affection for Pinky that he cannot show. Right. If he shows it, it's a sign of weakness. But everybody knows Pinky loves the Brain, but you have to really watch the show to catch how much Brain loves Pinky.
Sort of like of mice and men relationship.
Yes. or Ralph Cramden and Ed Norton. If
right, that's good.
And Ed Norton, was a Cockney. So it's really a show about a relationship, and it's the most fun relationship, mainly in large part because of the great writing from writers like Gordon and Charlie, and also Peter Hastings and Tom Ruger and Sherry Stoner, Deanna Oliver, but also it's a show about a friendship. It's a show about love.
It's great. And yeah, it's definitely resonated, and it was a spin-off of Animaniacs. So obviously a testament to the characters and how memorable and lasting they were from that original show.
Yeah, and we got to come back in the reboot.
Yeah.
We're in the Hulu reboot, which our third and final season comes up later in the month on Hulu. Nice. we're Pinky and the Brain. So it's Yakko Wacko Dot, Pinky and the Brain, and then new things.
Now, when is the film coming out? The animated Pinky and the Brain film.
There's been a bit of call for that today in my of doing press, and not unbidden by me. It may be time for a Piggy in the Brain film. I hope it is. I just don't want them to cast. My running gag is they're gonna celebrity cast and dump us, and Peter Dinklage will play the Brain and Russell Brand Pinky, and
Oh, that would be a slap in the face.
it would break my heart. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I really feel a sense of ownership over the character. I've played
right.
him for 21 years,
Hmm.
and I wanted to always be me.
And you even brought him back in some respect to Orson Welles in an episode of The Critic, or a few episodes of The Critic.
Yes, well, it started. I mean, I did Orson Welles before. I brought Orson Welles to the Brain when I saw, that character's face. I thought they'd drawn an Orson Welles lab mouse for me to play, and it turned out that it was really that he was based on a writer named Tom Minton, and Tom is brilliant, and he's one of those kind of geniuses. But he talks the monotone like this. He speaks very very quickly, and he knows a lot about a lot of things. But that would not sustain a cartoon. So so when I saw him, I didn't know Tom yet, and so I just saw the Brain. I saw Orson Welles, and I just infused him with that character. And I was the first and last actor to read for the part.
Oh,
And
wow.
Andre Romano told me, shortly afterwards, it's like, as soon as you read, we knew we found the Brain. It took him another day to find Rob Paulson.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you see Rob a lot now, or do you
Yes,
keep?
mostly on the con circuit, but
Okay.
when we're in town, we're both working and not always on the same projects.
Hmm.
So, we have a running text chain. We probably text with each other 3, 4 times a week, just funny little moments and things, observations. But when
Awesome.
we're on the road, we hang, we go for meals, and we're starting to tour a show called Animaniacs in Concert.
Oh,
So
okay.
where Randy Rogel, who wrote most of the specialty songs for Animaniacs, and Rob perform a large portion of the songs, but I come out and have a number as the Brain, and then we have a wonderful closing sketch for Pinky and the Brain.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that's a lot of fun.
That's
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah.
Really cool. So you just mentioned the con circuit. What is it like when you see your fans? Like, is it humbling? What are those interactions like?
Very much so. As Rob has a line that he speaks, um, but it's so true. We were exhausted from saying thank you, exhausted from saying, from people letting us know what the show has meant to them and how it's helped them through hard times.
Hmm.
And I know every performer who does a con gets to have this. And people who come to the cons want us to know that if it's whether it's an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for James Marsters, or our little show, we get to hear that dad had cancer, and we got through his chemo treatments watching your show, and I was bullied. I hear that I was bullied in high school, and I actually thought about ending it, and I came home and watched an episode of Animaniacs, and your burp song made me laugh, and the laughing made me rethink my plan. And thank God, you know, because it's really, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Right.
I know people who, when they can contemplate suicide, they just want the pain to stop. Nobody really wants to die, but they want the pain to stop. And we're in the pain relief business,
Hmm.
and part of it is generating the endorphins that come from laughter. So this is why I love to do comedy cartoons so much.
And yeah, so Animaniacs obviously a product of Steven Spielberg, and as you can tell, I am a fan of Steven. What has your relationship been like with Steven over the years?
But he won't stop pestering me. It's really,
Oh,
he's like,
wish I had that problem.
yeah, no, no, no. I've had a, I've had a. Well, Steven is amazing because he's one of those people that, and even in the few interactions that I've had, he makes you feel like an old friend immediately.
Hmm.
Uh, he's got that quality of meeting you, looking you in the eye, not in a spooky way or a scary way, just looking you in the eye, and you feel like you've known him all your life. and that there's nobody else around. He's not one of these people that's always checking out who's coming at me next. Who's I don't know. Is there more important? Well, first of all, Stephen is the most important man in the room always. So
Yes, yeah.
But you know, it's just he has that way of making you feel very special for the moments he's talking to you, and you know, you almost feel like, God, I wish I had his home number. I'd love to go get coffee with him. But he's really tremendously focused, and I've just enjoyed all my interactions with him, and I know he's been very pleased with all the seasons of the new Animaniacs, and it's a shame. You know, we're dropping our final season in the beginning, you know, in the middle of February, and it's 10 episodes, and then it's goodbye, maybe for a little while, maybe forever. We don't know. You know, things are always being, you know, always in motion is the future.
Oh.
So, you know, who knows with the changes that are going on at Warner Brothers. Maybe they'll find a new home for the show, or maybe there will be that movie someday.
Yes, please, I hope. Is there a character that you have not done yet that you'd want to?
You know, I took a run at Joker for the series The Batman in 2003, the one that starred Reno Romano as young Bruce Wayne. And the casting note that came down was, don't do Mark Hamill. This is a different Joker. And they drawn him almost with like Hulk-like proportions. He was built up, you know, he had barrel chest and big arms, and you know, he ran around barefoot, and you know, this was a different Joker, and they wanted something different. And so I really went in and found, like, well, what if Hannibal Lecter had a bigger sense of humor, you know, and you know, just but soulless, and yet. So I did something I thought was very interesting for it, but I didn't make the cut. But that was probably if there was a character I really had wanted to play, it would have been Joker.
Can you give a little snippet now?
Oh, it was. I mean, it was 20 years ago.
Okay.
I think it actually came out sounding a little bit like what Heath Ledger would end up doing for the character. I remember that. I remember it being very like this, you know, sort of. Ever wonder what would happen if it was, you know, just if you were just on the other side of a really bad day, Batman, which is kind of close to
Yeah.
oh, I got these scars.
Let's put a smile.
My father.
Well, it's like 3D right now.
Yeah, right.
That's great. So if Heath heard any of those recording sessions, he probably lifted that accent.
Oh no, he was absolutely doing. You know, there's a Tom Waits interview you can see. I think he's Dick Cavett, and you just watch that and go, oh, this is what Heath Ledger was doing. Oh my God! I mean, Tom Waits is his inspiration for the voice of the Joker, no question.
Nice. So, would you consider revisiting Egon Spengler?
You know, New York second. Yeah, I would love to play Egon again. I don't know that I'll get the chance, but yeah, I would absolutely love that. Ivan?
Yeah, hey.
Ivan's in heaven. Maybe he's working he's working the puppet strings. Yeah, I would love to play Egon again. He was great.
We would love to have you back. That would be amazing. So back to Murder Anyone. What do you hope audiences take away from the film?
Well, first of all, I hope they have a lot of laughs, because it is very funny. I hope they get an appreciation for the writer's struggle, because that's really the central theme of it. You know, just and don't murder anyone.
Right. Yeah, that's a good lesson.
That's good advice. Lesson at the end of it.
All right.
And I hope they come away with an admiration for Christos Andrews and Galadriel Steinman and Carla Collins and Spencer Breslin, and you know, our entire cast. You know, Charlie Howell, and there's a really lovely moment, because it's also a love letter from a son to a dearly departed father, who, you know, and that's a love letter, you know, in my own way, in my performance, to my longtime friend Gordon. Stick with the film until the credits, because there's a beautiful mid-credit sequence, and I hope you'll enjoy that. Yeah, it's really a a tribute to the writer and his craft.
Well said, sir. Are there any other projects you're working on now that you can talk about?
Well, we just finished the last season of Disenchantment, which is looking to drop sometime soon on Netflix. We don't have an actual date yet, but we're in post-production on that. That's our 5th season, and we bring everything to a very satisfying conclusion. Working on the new Futurama. We just recorded episode 20 2 weeks ago, and now we go into post and do little fixes on the show. And that will be first 10 episodes will drop this summer on Hulu. And as I said before, Animaniacs coming at you on Hulu. So yeah, I'm very busy. So that I'm very happy about that. But I'm very excited about Murder Anyone because this is new ground for me. And not only is it a chance to pay tribute to my friend Gordon Bresack, but to work with a wonderful director like James Cullen Bresack, or Jimmy as I get to call him. I've known him since he was 4, so I'm one of 7 people who gets to call him Jimmy on the planet. And I'm just really excited for people to see this film.
Great. And how can people see it? Is it going to be on digital?
It'll be digital. It'll be on many of the streamers. I'm pretty sure, and I don't hold me to this, but I'm at least certain it's going to be available on Prime Video.
Okay.
And I think Tubi for sure, but I don't know what other platforms. So I just know it's hitting streaming soon. So
nice.
On February 7th. That's really soon. That's in 6 days.
Yes.
On the date of this recording.
Indeed.
We don't know when it'll drop, but now the secret's out. We do record it sometime in the past.
Yes, sometime in the past.
Yeah.
And also, I just wanted to mention some other shows that were very impactful for me, for my childhood. Tiny Toon Adventures, The Tick, and Freakazoid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those are some of the more obscure ones. You don't really hear about Freakazoid a lot, but it was so brilliant.
No, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I'm hoping that it'll get a reboot too.
That'd be amazing.
That they get Paul Rudd, not Paul Rudd. He's already got a superhero.
Yes.
Paul Rudd to play him. But yeah, I would love to come back as Longhorn.
I could see maybe Ryan Reynolds. He might be a little old, but as Freakazoid, I don't know.
Well, if they're going to do a live action version, I guess they'd have to. But I mean, they've already got kind of a wacky superhero with him with Deadpool. So
that's true. So
we'll see. But I would love to see a reboot of that. Yeah.
This is not a new reboot of Tiny Toons. No pizza rolls for me.
Brilliant. And also, Maurice, just one more thing I wanted to mention to you. The week of June 8th, that will be Ghostbusters Day. And there is usually a big celebration in front of the firehouse in New York City. So if you're around, if you're in New York during that time of early June, maybe you'd like to stop by.
Well, I'll check my schedule. I think I'm doing a con that weekend. I don't know if I'm lucky enough to have it be in the New York area. I know I am going to do New York Comic Con later in the year.
Right.
But if I'm clear that particular day, I would be there in front of the original firehouse. It'd be great.
That'd be great. Yeah, we'd love to see you. And
right.
Hear you.
Yes.
More importantly, to hear you.
Well, thank you. And please give my best to all your fellow Ghostbusters in your chapter.
Maurice, I want to thank you so much for your time tonight. This was amazing.
Thank you.
From one ghost head, this was just quite an experience. So thank you so much.
Very kind. Thank you.
As I'm Randy Unger, this has been Under the Radar. We'll see you next time. Take care, guys.